rest of it is all in trash compactor bag. Even though this Dyneema fabric is definitely water resistant, it's not fully waterproof. So if you were to have a driving downpour or something like that, your stuff eventually would still get moist inside. And some of your stuff you don't want moist inside. So this is a trash compactor bag that contained my thermal layer, which was just my jacket, lightweight jacket that I had. Nylon Supflex outer shell, polyester lined. I actually was going to take another one that was all nylon, but it seemed lightweight, but it was actually 6 ounces heavier than this one. That one's like 11 or 12 ounces, I think. It's my pillow pump. Basically, let's pull out my sleep pad. It's a Pacific Outdoor Equipment knockoff. No, it's not really a knockoff. It was made by Pacific Outdoor Equipment for Campmore. You can see the Campmore on it. But this thing weighs 26.5 ounces, I think. So it's pretty darn heavy. This is my one really, well actually these two combined are my comfort thing, because I don't sleep well as it is, so I better be as comfortable as possible. So basically you connect that in there and you put your hand over that and you press it down, and then when you're done blowing it up and close off the valve, then you can close that one, you can squeeze that. So this is a one-way valve. Squeeze that. If you want to, you can blow a little bit more air into it. It's got foam in there, of course. But it's worked great as a pillow. I really enjoy this. So I'll be keeping that. But I definitely want to get a lighter pad at some point. The new Thermarest Neo Air in this size is half this weight. It's 13 ounces instead of 26.5 ounces. So that's a huge savings right there. And I might even just go for the smaller size. But anyway, so this is my blow-up pad. And when you get old, you need that kind of stuff. Or if you sleep on your side a lot, especially if you sleep on your side and you're old. Sleeping bag, REI, down. Got it on a good discount, good sale, only like $120 or so. Good to 20 degrees, very compressible, lightweight, 2 pounds right there. And last but not least was my little bag of sleep clothes. You can see I put them in the bag that this thing actually came in, and it was a convenient little stuff sack. I had an extra pair of pants. These were, I think, nylon outer shell and polyester inner, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a combination. Polyester and nylon on the inside, but I actually didn't like those for sleep pants. They were too heavy, too thick. These are just only $5 at Big Lots, you know. But they have a zipper that goes the entire length, which adds a lot of weight and some discomfort when you're sleeping in them. But these are the clothes I always slept in. A short sleeve version of nearly the shirt that I wore. It's slightly different style and all that, but it's 100% polyester shirt, short sleeve. That worked out fine. And if my socks didn't need drying out, I would wear them. Otherwise, I would put on a different pair of socks if I needed to, if my feet were going to be cold, which that was never a problem in that sleeping bag for sure. So I had a pair of these darn toughs, These all I got just because they were on sale at backcountryoutlet.com, you know, and they're all my size, so I figured I'd try some out. These were the Bridgedales. This was the one that I damaged. I actually had only started a fire one time, and I was going to dry these out, and I set them on the warm rocks, and then later my fire kicked up a little bit hotter, and they were a little bit too close, so I got singed on one of the socks and burned a hole in it. So I actually had two pair of identical socks as it was. And then my favorite socks, the ones I actually wore, were my toe socks. These Ingenies or Ingenie, I'm not sure how they're pronounced, but I think they're made in Korea. And they've got like bamboo fibers in them as well, or coconut or something like that. And I think some wool also. But these were very comfortable. I only wore just that. I didn't wear two pair of socks. These did not move on my feet at all, so I didn't have to worry about blisters really. Because the Achilles problem wasn't a blister, it was just getting rubbed too much from the shoe. But yeah, these worked out great, so I'll get some more of those eventually when those wear out. What I actually wore, well, I took two pair of underwear, but I actually went commando the entire time as it was, except for 2 days. I never ended up wearing, these were supposed to be my sleep underwear, but you know, I never bothered. They're a compression style, and frankly I find that uncomfortable. So I never ended up wearing those. These are very comfortable, quite honestly, but they didn't need them. What was the point? So I didn't wear them. The only time I did wear them was the days before and after I was at a shelter. So when I was changing out of my other pants into these pants at night, just in case other people happened to be around, they wouldn't have to see me naked. So that was the only time I actually wore those. And then my normal clothes that I wore all the time, another, basically a long sleeve version of that. 100% polyester, it turns out. Thick nylon would work better, especially for pants. These pants were just generic things from Walmart, some NBA warm-up type pants. 100% polyester, dry pretty quick. You know, long pants. I personally will never hike in anything but long pants and long sleeves because, one, I don't like wearing a lot of goop. You know, sunscreen, bug spray. I think that was part of the reason why I didn't have too much problem with bugs. I also wore just a canvas booty hat, cotton I guess. Worked out great, and it wasn't that hot anyway. This hat does get hot if it's really sunny out, but it turned out pretty good, and quite happy with it. It also gets pretty heavy when it's wet, but it never rained either, so I didn't have to worry about it. I prefer a nylon version in like a tan color, but this worked out well for what I needed. And my shoes, these are just generic Walmart shoes. Really, the three reasons I bought them was, well, they were inexpensive. They were like 20 bucks, something like that. They looked like they would drain the best. They had this mesh over along the sides as well, you know, not only on the top. So as you walk through the creeks, you know, the water would squish out on the sides. And the model name was also the name of my youngest son. So how could I go wrong? You know, so got some cheap Walmart shoes, and they held up well for the 101 miles. Didn't really have any problem other than this one, you know, for whatever reason was rubbing on my Achilles a little bit.